Fiction often mirrors our real-world experiences, and today's video explores a theme that I've been contemplating since my first playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Before diving in, I want to include a disclaimer. This video will touch on some light political commentary, and while I don't expect everyone to agree, I ask that you just keep the discussion civil and just respect. For those that haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, here's a little bit of background. The game is set in Aionios, a land locked in an endless war between two kingdoms, Kevis and Agnes. Soldiers in this world are born with a 10-year term limit before they fade away during a ceremony called homecoming. Even when these terms end, soldiers are reborn with no memory of their past, creating the game's most powerful literary theme, the Endless Now. Aionios was formed by the merging of Xenoblade 1's Bionis and Xenoblade 2's Alrist. Nia and Melia devised a plan to create an arc known as Origin, containing the knowledge and souls of the people from their worlds, allowing them to be reborn once the worlds were reconstructed and separated back into their original states. Zed, a manifestation of the fear of an unstable future within the soul stored in Origin, gained consciousness and took control of Origin. This kept the world stuck in its current limbo where time remains frozen and the war continues endlessly. So why should we move forward when we can just live comfortably in the endless now? This is a philosophy that I've pondered a lot in my adult life, because change can be scary, and I relate to this on both a personal level and politically. So personally, I've always struggled with stepping out of my comfort zone, whether that be friends, family, academics, or romantically. Growing up, I stuck to what I knew because I was fearful of emotional or physical repercussions if I strayed too far from the path. In my young mind, it made more sense to simply exist than go against the grain and become the best version of myself. For a long time, that fear consumed me in everything I did, but living in fear has a limit. It took years for my drive to improve to outweigh the fear that I held so close to my chest. So what changed? Did I wake up one day and decide that enough was enough? I wish it were that simple. For me, it was just a gradual process of forcing myself to do things that I wouldn't have normally done when fear really ruled my life. In college, I initially kept to myself, playing video games and watching Netflix alone in my dorm. Eventually, I made friends who understood my background and boundaries. They helped me see that it's okay to be guarded in unfamiliar situations, but it's also important to let loose and fully experience life. Much like Zed, I was comfortable being stuck rather than seeing the possibilities of where I could be. And this struggle isn't just limited to the individual level. In today's world, political debates are constant, reflecting the same struggle on a larger scale. As an American, I see this as a generational conflict, with younger generations, mainly millennials and below, in opposition with older ones. It feels like we're trapped in the endless now, with career politicians spending their lives in office without improving the lives of the people that they supposedly vowed to serve. They sell us on the idea of the American dream, but that hasn't really been attainable since my grandparents' time. This stems from Gen X and Boomer politicians wanting to stay in the endless now, rather than pushing for societal progress. Much like Zed's ploy in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, to distract the colonies from revolting against an oppressive system, our government distracts us with a nonsensical 24-hour news cycle and timely diversions whenever they're in the wrong. So how can we fix it? How can we escape the endless now when most people don't even know that we're in it? Much like the Ouroboros in the game, we have to take a stand. We have to show that we won't be silenced for the sake of maintaining the status quo that only benefits those that are already at the top. The rest of us are struggling because of their unwillingness to change and accommodate the best interests of the people that they swore to represent. Change starts with all of us. If we can step back and realize that we gain nothing by directing our anger towards each other for disagreeing, we can see the bigger picture. They keep us fighting in order to prevent us from realizing that the deck has been stacked against us the entire time, only benefiting the elite who maintain the current system. And as I said before, change can be a very scary thing, especially on a societal level. But I feel like we're reaching a similar point to where they were in Aionios, where something has to finally give. We need to stop blindly accepting things as they are, not just for a better life now, but to ensure a higher quality of life for those coming up after us. This kicking the ladder down approach that boomers did hasn't worked out for anyone but them, and for the rest of us, we're left holding the bucket at the end of the day. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 offers a deep reflection into our real-world struggles, highlighting the dangers of staying complacent and the need for progress. Just as the characters in the game face their fears and break free from the endless now, we too must challenge the status quo and push for positive change in our lives and society. And it all begins with personal steps and extends to broader societal movements. Let's take inspiration from the game and work towards a future that we're not held back by fear or limitations imposed by others. Thank you for watching, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the game. Let's keep the discussion going, and remember, please keep the discussion respectful and open-minded.